Good morning, Junior 6. Today in the video, we will take High Level, Unit 3. Before we get into the lesson, I want to welcome you back to the school. I hope this term be a nice term on you and we can get all the benefits of these lessons and learn something new. Okay, the lesson of today is the pharaonic village. Let's know a lot about the ancient Egyptians, how they lived their life, okay, by watching this video, and after that we will discuss what happened in this video, okay?
Put him in a basket and floated it on the Nile to prevent him from being killed by Pharaoh's soldiers. The child was discovered by a member of Pharaoh's family and was brought up in the royal palace. Eventually, he became a prophet who led his own people, the Hebrews, out of Egypt.
Oh, driving the boat?
The god of aerial space, with the sun and moon as his two eyes. The nobleman and his wife are enjoying the fresh air in their garden pavilion. They are playing a game called Senet, a game for two players, a form of which is still played in Egypt today. The sower scatters the seed from a small bag or basket, and sheep follow. The process is winnowing, when the grain is tossed up into the air, so that the lighter chaff or husk will blow away on the wind. About 1450 BC, when captive glassmakers were brought here from Syria. Mummification is basically dehydration, and to speed up this process, the internal organs of the body were removed and preserved separately. The body was dried out by being covered with natron salt, a form of soda found in the deserts of Egypt. Then the sculptor carved the design in relief with his mallet and chisel. Finally, the details would be painted in color to make the picture look as realistic as possible.
So Tumble to visit his wife Goddess Moon in one of the most important festivals. It is called Open Festival. So now I'm talking about.
Wow, like this. And then we'll come back again, just to enjoy for the lady of the noble people. And just sit, you can sit like this. And that's okay. And we did. And this is what's called hum. And this is the first tool that used for music, just to give the music for the ancient Egyptian at that time. And this is about the steps. The ancient Egyptian used the steps just to get the floor or to get the roof of their house, just for storing some papyrus or storing some grains. You know? How? The man is moving his hand, he's moving his hand to get the fire by using the dry leaf and linen oil just like this. And then he get the fire from here to the oven inside the house for baking bread or making cookie. That is not the real material. I'm making a small balloon, the center of the bottle, and by incense.
What's that?
This is for burning like this. By blowing the glass, you're making the center of the balloon.
Okay, from this video we saw a tour in the pharaonic village, and we saw all the things that the ancient Egyptian did in the past, okay, from their lives, how they lived their life, and how they even plant seed, and how they wear, and how they painting on the walls, all the things about their life. And here at the list, or at the end of the video, we saw someone who was trying to use, okay, glass, and to build glass as the ancient Egyptian did in the past. So this video is about things happened in the past. So let's read. Okay, in this text we will read and discuss the lesson. Welcome to Egypt. Enjoy your stay with us. The Sphinx and the pyramids of Giza are no doubt already high on your list of places to visit. We started this text by saying hello to you and welcoming you to the life of ancient Egyptian. Here we says in this text at the beginning that Sphinx and pyramids of Giza is the most important places in Egypt. Anyone in all the world that wants to know or want to come to Egypt, he want to see these two things, Sphinx and the pyramids, because these are the iconic of Egypt. Okay, let's continue. Perhaps you have planned a trip on a Nile, and you will centrally want to hunt for souvenirs and great bargains in some of our modern shops and traditional markets. Here he continues the text and talking about that you have to make a trip the Nile because it's very important. And here you can take some souvenirs, gifts to your friends and make some bargains. Bargains here means that you can make a deal with some sellers and take something in a good price. You know me? In some of our modern shops. Sure, this happens in the shops, in the markets. And the traditional markets. These markets are traditional. What is meaning of traditional? Means something very old and still until now, or something we took from our grandfathers and our grandmothers, or even our grandfather. Okay, these things are very important and very old. Let's continue. But if you want to travel back in time and get a taste of Egypt as it was 3,500 years ago, a visit to the pharaonic village is a must. Here, if you want to feel or to see how the ancient Egyptian lived their lives, you need to go back by the time and see how their life was. And the best place you can go is pharaonic village, because that is the place that present to you how was the life of pharaonic, okay, or pharaoh was in the past by life scenes. You can see everything really in a human's flesh, not by screen. Okay, let's continue. On an island in the Nile, farmers dressed just like their ancestors. Their wooden plow are drawn by oxen. In the village, we have some farmers, okay? These farmers dressed means wear like their ancestors. Ancestors here means their grandfather and grandmother, or grand or great grand. You know, mean this? The very old people. That's we call them pharaohs. Okay, they wear like them. Okay, and they try to show us how they lived their lives. By what? First, he told me here, their wooden plow are drawn by oxen. The first thing we can see that ancient Egyptian did in their life, that they were using something called plow. Plow here is a machine or a tool. This tool looks like X, okay? But in develop, it's very huge tool, and there's an animal called oxen. This animal just take it and drawn it. Drawn means move it by his body, okay? And they use this kind of tool to do what? To dig the land, to plant it. You know what I mean? They want to grow some seeds, so they use this kind of tool. Let's continue. They spread seed and hand, okay? So after that, they spread means they threw the seeds in the land. Let's continue. After that, a flock of sheep follows them, tramping the seed into the ground in their ancient manner. After they did that digging by their tool, a flock means a group of sheep, follow them, walk after them, tramping here means use their hands to walk heavily over the land that they used the plow to dig it, the seed, okay, into the ground. They put the seed into the ground by their legs. After that, we continue. Wheat is winnowed by being tossed in the air. So, wheat here is a kind of grain. Ancient Egyptians used it to make bread and flour. Is winnowed means what? Flies, okay, in the sky by being tossed. Tossed here means throw, okay, like in the video. If you saw the video, you will saw a farmer or a woman, okay, she was doing what? She was through the wheat in the sky, okay. This sentence mean that action, okay. The pharaonic village was created by Dr. Hassan Ragab, a famous expert on Egyptian history. Dr. Ragab visited Disneyland. Unlike most other visitors, he found it disappointing. There was nothing human about it. He said it was too artificial and computerized. So, Dr. Hassan Ragab is a person who made or create a pharaonic village. He went to a place called Disneyland and he found it disappointing. Disappointing here means like he felt very sad. He wasn't expect that from Disneyland. Why? Because there was not human about it. There wasn't anything about human. There wasn't anything to learn there. There wasn't anything to get benefit of it. All the things about Disneyland just to have fun, just to go there and like you be in the artificial world, like fiction world, not real world. Everything there were computerized. Computerized here means using computer, okay, not something not real. So let's continue. He decided to recreate a real Egyptian village as it might have existed 3,000 or 4,000 years ago with real people in it. Like we saw in the video, he created this place that includes a lot of people there, real people who act like they in the ancient Egyptian life or in the old life of ancient Egyptian, and they show you how they live their life. So this is something very important. It's something has a human thing. It's like a theater, and everything you can see through it. Let's continue. It took him nearly 300 employees, over 20 years to achieve his ambition. So there was 300 employees, means 300 workers were working there, and it took 20 years to build this place or to achieve his ambition. Ambition here means his goal. First, he hid the view of Cairo. He knew from his history of old Egyptian paintings that many of the trees that grew in the past no longer grew in Egypt. So he started to think what was in ancient Egyptian and now isn't here. He was a smart man. So he started to think that at this time, like right now, we have things wasn't in the ancient Egypt, right? So he started to think and try to use his imagination what was in ancient Egyptian. He started to think there wasn't trees like now. Here at this time we have trees in everywhere, right? But in ancient Egypt there wasn't any kind of trees, just a little bit, not like right now. Okay, so he started with this, and he continued. Nor did many flowers, animals, or birds. That's right, the flowers and the animals and the birds that were in the ancient Egypt isn't the same like right now. So he started to reduce, okay, these things and try to use the things that were at this time. He went south to gather. Gather here means collect seeds to Ethiopia and Sudan, where he also found a rare type of gauze, which no longer lives in Egypt. If you want different experience, don't miss out on the pharaonic village. So this man tried his best to present us the life of ancient Egypt as it was. He went south and he went to Ethiopia, Sudan to show us the real facts about ancient Egyptians' life, and that was very valuable things. And if you want really to see the life of there, I recommend you very high to go there. It's a wonderful place, wonderful information, and wonderful experience. Okay, guys, so let's move to the part of questions. Before we went to this part, we need to see some words, like 7 years. Means what? A gift you buy to your family or friends from a new place you visited. Traditional means something that still exists after hundreds of years. Ancestors means people from whom you are descended farther back than your grandparents. Plow, a large farming implement with one or more blades to turn the soil over and prepare it for planting the seeds, like in the pictures. Okay, you can see here in the picture, we can see oxen just drawing the plow. Okay, let's continue. Tramping here means to walk in a heavy way, like the sheep, when the sheep were walking over the land. Let's continue the words. Winnowed here means to remove or blow the chaff, the outer covering of grain. Okay. Tooth means to through. Expert means someone who have a lot of knowledge about something. Disappointing means to feel that something is not good as expected. Artificial means unreal or man-made. Ambition means strong desire to achieve your goals or dreams. Answer the following questions. Did Dr. Ragab enjoy his visit to Disneyland? Give a reason. No, he didn't, because there was nothing human about it. Everything was artificial and computerized. What is special about Pharaonic village in Dr. Ragab's opinion? Think about this question, please. Yes, it is an amazing experience because it's recreation of ancient Egypt, so you can learn about it in real life. How were all the Egyptian painting useful to Dr. Ragab? Think about the answer. And the answer is he knew from the paintings that many of the trees that grew in the past no longer grew in Egypt, nor did many flowers, animals, or birds, so he had to travel to get the seeds. Okay, let's move here to another questions. Identify the following words: traditional, flux, expert, computerized, ancestors. Let's start. Things that's controlled by computers, not by people. The answer will be, think about the answer. Yes, computerized. A group of sheep or birds. Think about the answer. Flux or flock, such as have existed for hundreds of years. Think about the question or the answer. Yes, traditional. Someone with a lot of knowledge about something. Expert. People from whom you are descended further back than your grandparents. Yes, the answer would be ancestors. So this is the end of the video. Please, if you have any questions, tell me at the class, or even you can write down to the WhatsApp, or if this video at the YouTube in the comment. Assalamu alaikum.